Natural Sponge and Friends is back. Podcast number 9 here. Beautiful day in Myrtle Beach. It actually wasn't hot as hell today, and I'm loving it. After 2 summers of roasting out with baseball lessons, Diamond Wizards baseball lessons, that's who powers Natural Sponge and Friends. I'm glad to see the cooler air arrive. Make sure you guys check out Phoenix Roasters Coffee. If you guys listen to the podcast number 8 with Campbell Timms, the creative spiritual paradox of Live Oak Church in Murrells Inlet. You guys heard about Phoenix Roasters Coffee. So we put it out on our Instagram and our Twitter and everything like that. So make sure you guys check it out. It's pretty cool. Once you dive into exactly what they do there and what they do overseas and in Guatemala and what they do for people in all parts of Guatemala, it's pretty cool to look at and to donate to, or whatever you can do to be a part of it. It's pretty cool. Kira Gervais on Twitter. Make sure you check that out. And as we continue moving forward this week, we got a few companies that are looking to become part helpers here in this Natural Sponge and Friends podcast, Life, Sports, and Love. Make sure if anybody's interested in helping out getting some marketing going or any advertising stuff, make sure you check us out and give us a call or email us naturalsponge23@gmail.com. Tonight we have a guy who helped us set up the first ever podcast, who we got the box of equipment in. We called the guy over. Was it after a baseball workout?
Yeah, it was. We had a lesson that morning, and then I came over, and then we went to the pool to work out, and then I helped out.
Then came back over here, and we got that. Tried to figure out how to get it set up, and after this is just week 3 of it, so we're actually getting, we've had a lot done here in just 3 weeks, and we actually have going through Libsyn. We'll actually have our podcast on by the end of the week, all 8, and this is number 9 on all of the major podcasting outlets. So make sure you check us out on all of those as well. He was on our first practice podcast. We did that 2 nights later.
Yeah.
A couple nights later?
Yep.
And then he was on here with the first ever color guy that night with Tucker Perry. In here yet again rocking his big baller brand top. I actually took off my sticker. I'll tell you that vibe later. Got a different sticker coming, a little Natural Sponge and Friends podcast sticker coming, or decal as my cousin would say, for the back of my phone. But rocking his big baller brand logoed hoodie tonight in the podcast room. Ethan Lester, what's up, my brother?
What's up? What's up?
Glad to have you back, man.
Oh yeah.
How was school today?
It was pretty good. I mean, we started the second week of school today, so we got into some more advanced stuff. But other than that, it was pretty chill.
Are you in advanced shit?
Yeah, I'm in all honors classes for the whole year, and then I just got some other electives that that aren't that hard, but honors classes kill me.
So I feel like I'm in school every time I come in the podcast room with guys. Like everybody that comes in is smarter than me. Like Josh Hester, he's got 9 degrees. Campbell, he's a creative spiritual paradox. I don't even know what that means. I feel like me and Fox are probably just dumb country boys that can hit a baseball. I think maybe that's me and Fox. We're on the same level. But everybody else is pretty locked in. So you're a sophomore this year at St. James High School.
Yep.
Baseball player. And you're actually, we will end up putting out our practice podcast because it was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
And so I don't want to touch on, I don't even actually remember, like we were talking, we don't listen to, if we're on something, we don't listen to it again.
Yeah.
So I'll post something, and if somebody asks me what part was where, I can get them to it quickly, but I don't sit down and listen to the podcast again once they're out. So we may touch on a couple of things tonight, but we will get the podcast, practice podcast between me and Ethan Lester out at some point, maybe once we get 25, podcast 25. Something like that. We're on 9 now, so something like that. But you're actually from West Virginia.
I was born in North Carolina, but I was raised in West Virginia my whole life, so I consider myself from West Virginia.
Right. What part of North Carolina?
Concord. It's
Queen City.
It's like
near Charlotte.
Yeah, right outside of Charlotte.
Gotcha. And then what part of West Virginia?
It's called Cross Lanes. It's like 10-15 minutes out of Charleston, which is like the major city there.
Gotcha. And that's what we talked about. That's where my wife graduated from, was Charleston, West Virginia up there. And that's actually where the bad boy of sports radio, Alan Smothers, if you listen to 100.3 FM, The Team, the press box with Alan Smothers, that's what he graduated from up there at Charleston university as well. So a lot of cool people up there, I guess.
Yeah, Randy Moss and Jerry West went to high school.
Yeah, Marshall, baby.
Yeah, well, Randy Moss went to high school like 20 minutes from my grandma. Then Jerry West went to the same high school that my grandpa works at.
That's dope, dude.
It's pretty cool. So they have like plaques in him up, and it's really cool.
So why the moves?
Like, what do you mean? Like the move down to here?
Yeah, why the move from Charlotte to West Virginia and then West Virginia to here?
Well, we lived in Concord, like the Charlotte area, because that's like my parents, they just found jobs there. And this was like before I was even born. They lived there for like 5 years.
Right.
And then once I was born, they realized like, hey, we don't have any like family down here. So they wanted me to get used to, like, get to know my family and stuff. So we moved back to West Virginia where all my family lives when I was 2. And then after living there for like 7 or 8 years, we decided like, you know, hey, it's sort of time for a change. And then we always vacation down here. So it's just like, we came down here for like a month during that summer just to test it out, see if we liked it, and we did. So then we moved down here. We've been living here for like 4 years now.
So you're like, yo, family, you guys are cool for a little bit, and then we'll bounce. No, that's cool, man. Yeah, anybody can. And your dad's got a pretty cool job where he can live anywhere, really.
Yeah.
And you know, and everything. And your mom's a teacher, right? So
Counselor.
that's dope. Counselor. That's even better. That's cool. And as you move into your, you know, I guess your formative years. How long have you been down here?
4 years.
4 years. So you're what? You're starting middle school, I guess.
Yeah, I was going into 6th grade.
So is it tough leaving like your friends up there and coming here? Or
yeah, I still have like.
Are the bitches better down here or up there?
No, up there is way better. They're all country girls and stuff. Like.
What's wrong with a country girl? They say yeehaw and woo.
No, it's like, I mean, it was hard, but the reason why we
That's
moved.
what she said.
The reason why we moved at that time was because I was transitioning from elementary school to middle school. So like, if I was going to go to the middle school that I was back there, I'd still be meeting new kids because like all schools, like they ran into one middle school.
Right.
So it was just like, you know, I'm already going through a change from elementary school to middle school, so a lot of kids aren't going to know each other, so that just been an easier way for me to make friends that way.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure, man. So you come down, everything transitioned well, you were good, and
Yep.
And you played baseball your whole life. You're now entering your sophomore year of high school, so it'll be your sophomore year on the baseball field as well.
Yep.
So working out all summer. You feel like you got better this summer?
Yeah, I can tell. Like we were in the cages this past Friday, and I don't know. I have flashbacks from when I was hitting in JV season, like how like poorly I was hitting, and then I went and re-hit in the cages like all that same group of guys, and I can just tell like how like advanced I was compared to all them. Yeah, like the growth. Because like there was other kids I could see who clearly haven't swung a bat in like a couple months, and were hitting just like
we went
grounders.
We went over to the cages. I think it was Tuesday. It was so it was a second day of school last week, and I had some guys, and I mean the place is packed.
Yeah,
like it was me, my guys, and the Crickets all summer, and the Devil with his heat out there. I mean that was it. And now all of a sudden school's back in. Let's look cool, and that's kind of one of the things. And you're gonna see Sponge is in a mood tonight, guys. So I mean it's just like all this bullshit that happens. Like you go through, you know, you come back to school and you haven't done nothing all year, like you're saying with some guys, but now people are watching you.
Yeah.
So there's
it's like a
facade you have to put on to like, oh yeah, I work hard. I'm a baseball player. Oh, look at me. You know, even softball girls do the same thing. And then, you know, there's dads in the cages and stuff. And I texted out some stuff to some people last week, and just going to leave it at this. I'm glad to know that you guys are watching. That's all I got to say, because I've got a lot of stuff from, like, I text some guys some stuff, some questions, and they're like, I don't know Sponge. Like, y'all don't know that I'm Sponge. Like, I'm glad y'all are listening, though. Keep on rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the facade of guys trying to, you know, and that's what I tell you guys all the time, especially the brotherhood guys, is the cream will rise to the top. You can only bullshit for so long, and as you said, you saw it yourself. You can see the guys that may have been better than you, or maybe, you know, whatever it may have been, but you've had so much growth already, and you're just kind of, they're hitting ground balls, we're hitting laser beams.
Yeah.
We're just straight loosing balls.
Yeah, I was like, I got in for like my first round of soft toss, and I hit like 3 straight back up the middle, and it was weird. Like everyone, like the cage behind me, they literally all stopped and like turned around and watched my entire round. And then after I was done, I looked back at them, and they were like, I don't even know. It's just weird. Like you could, it's so weird how you can clearly see like that. Hey, this kid plays baseball and he might be good, but he clearly hasn't swung a bat in 2 months.
Right.
Like it's
Right.
it's so obvious.
I forget who it was. It might have been. It might have been Campbell actually. On podcast 8, we're talking about, baseball is not like shooting a basketball or riding a bicycle.
Yeah.
I could shoot the lights out thanks to my Iceman, my pops back in the day, and I can go out here to the court in the neighborhood and I'll hit 9 out of 10 free throws guaranteed. I'll put $1,000 on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't shot a basketball in 8 months.
Yeah.
But you take a guy that hasn't swung a bat in 2 months, or maybe for a month.
Form's all jacked.
Wow, it's messed up, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I went during the off season, like this summer and stuff. I went to the cages. Like I went with you a lot, but like I went on my own probably like around like 10 or 15 times just to get some swings in.
Right.
And every single time I went, I'd be there for an hour and I'd see no one there. Like I might see, a coach like walking by or something like that, but I'd be the only one there. And now I went and like it's just, I don't know. It's just like you can tell whenever like the school year starts, it's like all right, now the off season starts, but really the off season starts whenever your season ends.
Exactly.
And for some kids, it's just like they take a big break and now they're like complaining and all that stuff. Like, wow, like I'm not hitting the ball right, and it's like, yeah, because you took like 4 months off,
right?
And
exactly.
Your season ended.
And that's the thing, man. Is I had a cool coach moment yesterday. I pulled in to work with our Brody down in Georgetown County, Waccamaw High School, the best infielder in the state of South Carolina, hands down, Will Brackett, and. We pull in, and my man Lester is already in the cage by himself. Dean knows he's going to be there hitting off the tee. Mm-hmm. And I think that's money, dude, because if you think about it, and it goes with any sport, it's a calming, almost gives you like a meditational state to be out there by yourself, mm-hmm. getting some swings in. It's quality, not quantity, mm-hmm. and you're getting your work in, but you're also out there with yourself, and you're with you're outside, you're with nature, and it's kind of a cool thing. It's just like a basketball player. You don't always have to go play pickup games. You don't have to do this. You can go out to shoot basketball by yourself.
Yep. I saw a video like LeBron posted the other day on his Instagram where like his 2 kids were outside like 5 a.m. just like shooting basketball, like, and he didn't know like they were out there and they didn't know that he was out there. They were just randomly shooting and dunking and stuff. And I don't know. I just think whenever you do stuff on your own, it, like you said, it's sort of like in a peaceful way, because I know, like, whenever I hit, I like to have people with me, but sometimes when I have people with me, I start to struggle and stuff, and that gets me frustrated, because then they're seeing that. But whenever I'm on my own, like, I can struggle all I want, and it'll still won't affect me just because I know that I can get better. I know what I can do to get better.
Right, and that's what I tell, especially a lot of young guys that try out for their high school teams for the first time, or they're going to like a showcase workout for the first time. It's mm-hmm. like, You go out there and you're going to have all these tons of dudes around. If it's high school tryouts or something like that, you have your buddies around you, the guys you grew up with.
Yeah.
And you get distracted and you lose the sense of self of what you're trying to do. Like I had a kid played a scrimmage game a couple weeks back, and this guy was the umpire that night, and this kid was throwing this pitch, and he let all of these. That was the first 3 things he told me, mm-hmm. and I'm like, all right, so we just let these 3 things. That's why we had a shitty night, is because we let these 3 things affect us.
Yeah.
So once you can really lock in and be in control of your mental and physical state, that's when guys get the best. And like we were talking mm-hmm. earlier, like your boy's LeBron, right?
Yeah.
So, if he first game of the year this year, the game's not going to be fast to him. Mm-hmm. The game of basketball is slow to him at that level.
Yeah.
He is that good that he's able to slow it down.
Mm-hmm.
I never could, and we probably won't. And not many people will ever get to that level of being able to slow something down like that. Mm-hmm. But we will get to a level of where we can slow down the game of baseball for you. Like you'll be able to slow it down, and everything doesn't seem rushed. And that's when you see that big jump in ability. You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool that you're going out and working. I know you worked your ass off this summer with me, but working out by yourself as well. And, guys, learn from him. I watched him last night. How long were you there before we got there last night?
Probably like 20 minutes. I hit a bucket before y'all came.
So you hit 3 buckets off the tee last night.
Yeah.
Right. So quality. not quantity. You didn't. I used to have guys text me, Coach, I hit 500 swings today. Well, that's good. Only probably 30 of them were worth of shit. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not being mean. It's like realist. And, it is what it is. So, as the bad boy Alan Smothers would say, be that as it may. So, for people that may listen to this one and may not listen to our podcast number 25, the hell, Big Baller Brand. A lot of people hate LeVar. I hate him at first. I love him now.
Yep.
They're starting to call me the LeVar of Horry County, probably. So why the Big Baller Brand love and get into that. And I know you have a cool story, like we had talked earlier about something happened where everything was like cheap and.
Oh yeah,
just do your thing, bro.
Oh, okay. So there was I don't know. I think it was probably out in California in the area, and there was a local volleyball tournament, and they were selling Big Baller Brand's obviously not in commission right now because the whole Alan Foster deal, and they shut it down. But they were selling Big Baller Brand, like real Big Baller Brand merchandise, like not rip off stuff for like $5 to $20, like. A T-shirt that would be like $50 on their website, you could get it for like $10 at that volleyball tournament, and it's just crazy how you can go from being that and being like one of the like top 5, in my opinion, top 5 basketball brand there was because of how much hype it got,
right?
And then going just like straight to the bottom in like a month or two.
So how could why would Alan Foster affect their sales like that though? Like I know he took money and stuff, but
it didn't affect their sales. I watched the TV show and. It like affected the family more than it affected like the business part of it. And then Lonzo saw it as like, hey, this guy just betrayed me and my family. I don't want to associate myself with this brand anymore because it's him. And whenever Lonzo left,
was it not LeVar's brand though?
They like part owned it. Like Alan Foster was the co-founder, and then he was the founder.
Gotcha.
So they like shared it. He had a percentage of it in it. But Lonzo said that he didn't want to. Be a part of the brand anymore. Then LaMelo and LiAngelo and all of them got behind him. They all left, and now it's sort of at a standstill because LeVar wants to start it back up, but I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon.
Well, LeVar, if you want to become partners with Natural Sponge for something, we're going to tag him in this. Ethan Lester, when he calls you and wants you to fly out with him, make sure you hit us up and we'll go together. So why did you fall in love with Big Baller Brand?
Probably just the fact that, well, one, it's a basketball brand. I love basketball, but I don't know. I guess, well, when I saw the hype that LeVar was promoting him to go to the Lakers, because the Lakers have always been my favorite team. I've always been a big LeBron fan, but the Lakers have been the team that I grew up watching.
So now you're in heaven.
Oh, yeah. And, but yeah, I saw the potential that family had, not just with Lonzo, but with LiAngelo and LaMelo, and I was like, wow, if I get on this train right now and it becomes something, then I can say that I'm a true like OG Big Baller fan, and here we are. I mean, it's not really going the way I wanted it to go, but it still blew up, and they have a whole TV show about it and everything, so awesome, I think it's pretty cool.
And LaMelo is an absolute stud.
Yeah, he's projected to go early second round, but I feel like after he plays a year in Australia, that's gonna I don't know. Obviously, that's why I'm doing a podcast in a suburbiaville up in the pod room. But how do you not take him number one? He's a 6'8" point guard. You've seen him at the age of 13 or 14 play against pro guys overseas. I don't give a shit if they're good at basketball, but you sit there and you watch him put up numbers and play well. Especially like with all the pressure around him and everything. Right. Okay? He's not even phased
Nothing
by it.
phases him at all. At all. I'll never forget on their show, one of the videos or one of the clips of LeVar was like roasting him in the back of the van, and he was on his phone. And I don't know if he slapped the phone out of his hand or he yelled at him and put the phone down.
Yeah.
And he was just like, he listened to his dad. He wasn't disrespectful. He made a couple faces, but he never said a word. And went back out the next night, dropped like 36.
Yeah.
But he was 15 or 14 years old at the time. Like, how? I don't understand. Is it because LeVar's a big loudmouth?
Yeah.
Or is it because he's taken a different path, or is it because, and I think this is a big part of it, I know this is a big part of it, but just the feeling, the human feelings of it, that no GM is going to want to take, he don't want the circus to come along with it.
I don't know about LaMelo, but I know definitely with LiAngelo that it affected him a lot, because LiAngelo was a guaranteed, in my opinion, first round pick whenever he was playing at UCLA. Then when that whole incident happened, and then LeVar pulled him out of UCLA, and then he started criticizing.
But he was suspended for a year too, right?
He was suspended for 3 months, but the 3 months would have basically been he's basically suspended for the season.
Yeah, the basketball season.
Yeah, so like after that he would have came back, but whenever LeVar pulled him out and started criticizing everyone, it's just like I can see why teams wouldn't want a Ball family member on their team, just because you already know if that team gets that player, then they're gonna get a lot of media attention. Then that could potentially ruin their brand in a sort, just because of LeVar's actions.
Right, and this goes back to like what I have is it's becoming more and more prominent every day that this is such an agenda-based America, whether it's sports or whether it's school or whether it's like people's everyday jobs. Like everybody has an agenda, and if it doesn't correlate with your agenda, and I always get it. I mean, I get it. It was like that, like in 1950, probably too. Like, if we're not on the same page, I'm not going to do business with you.
Yeah.
But it's getting even more prominent now in 2019 because, if the Suns have the number 1 pick and they're still trash in 2 years,
yeah,
they'll probably take him. They could take him number 1 because they're going to get ticket sales.
Oh yeah.
But when it comes down to it, if you think about the way every single thing is ran, it's all based on where can I get the most money? I don't give a shit who I destroy to do it, or I don't care how much money I have to spend or have to rob to spend it to get my way. And that's how I feel like Alan Foster was. That's how, because he had a different agenda. His agenda was all about him. He didn't care. He obviously didn't care about Big Baller Brand.
Yeah.
The GMs don't care about kids. If the GMs cared about kids, and this is a strong statement, and Doug Gottlieb got roasted about his Andrew Luck one, by the way, we'll talk about that later. But strong statement, if it was only about the best talent, he's a early first round draft pick.
Oh yeah. Like, I'm a big Lonzo fan, but I'll admit he should have not went second to the Lakers.
Oh, no shot.
In my opinion,
No shot.
he's not even.
He went over my boy Jason Tatum. No way.
Like, Lonzo the first round pick, but he's not like top 5. He's like top. I mean, he's probably like in the 10 to 15 slot. But the only reason why the Lakers picked him is because they saw the hype around him, and the Lakers were horrible. Like, I mean, they're still bad. Not like, I don't know about this season, but
right.
Like the past couple seasons they've been bad, and they saw the potential that, hey, like this kid is hyped up, and if he turns into a good player, we'll get all these ticket sales. And it did. Like, they drafted him, and you saw like all the hype around the Lakers.
Summer league games were sold out.
Oh yeah, you saw all the hype around the Lakers just boost up. So I mean, I'm sort of glad they took him, but at the same time, if LeVar didn't promote Lonzo as much as he did, Lonzo wouldn't got that many hate, because like he's not even a bad player. It's just he was so overhyped that now he's only like, I don't know. LeVar did too much, and now he can't take any of it back. And that's, in my opinion, that's why his brand's hurting really bad. It's because his kid's not doing as well as he said that he was going to do.
Well, sure. I mean, exactly. And I mean, if you put out, and apparently, I don't know. I wanted to get BP a pair of the shoes, put the cleats on, the cotton candies, put some spikes on the bottom of them, wear those when he pitches. That'd be dope. But apparently, the shoes suck. Most people got the wrong size. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's a weird thing, and it's got to be a hard thing. But I've always wondered, and I think you're the only one that's given me anywhere close to an answer. How the hell did LeVar Ball get his fortune? He played. I know he was on a practice football squad.
I don't even know if he got drafted. But he was on a practice squad for the Eagles and the Panthers.
But he played basketball in college.
Yeah.
And only averaged like 2 points a game.
Yeah.
And then would he go try out later for that?
I have no clue, but I just know that he went undrafted, and then he was on the practice squad for the Eagles and the Panthers, and then after that I guess he just had a normal job. And then when his kids came around, and he created the brand with Tina, and so I guess his fortune would come from the brand a little bit, but there's no way with all the stuff he's getting came from all the brand, because the brand's like, it's popular, but you don't really see like kids walking around every day with like Big Baller Brand stuff on.
Honestly, this is a funny story. This is a good pod story here. Well, first off, it's big overseas,
Mm-hmm.
and the shoes are like $500, and he probably makes them for like 12.
Yeah.
So that's a good little chunk there
Mhm.
for every shoe made. But me and my wife went on a cruise last year.
Mhm.
Yeah, last year, and I see this kid walk by, and he's wearing a Big Baller Brand shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, "Yo, Big Baller Brand, what's up, dog?" And he gives me like this, "Yo, what's up?" I'm like, not being weird. That's kind of like from the trade, like where I grew up. Like he kind of looked like I'm like, that look kid's dope. You know what I mean? He's cool.
Yeah.
Saw him the next day, and he's sitting with his mom. I like literally walk over, give her the biggest hug ever. It's my best friend growing up, Bubba. It was his sister, and that's her son. I'm like, all right. So now I've literally seen in person 2 Big Baller Brand shirts, one from Bubba's nephew, and you wearing it right now across from me. I've always wanted one, but I've never had $70 to just toss out there to get a shirt.
I got it for like the only reason why I got it is because we were going to a Lakers game like the week later, and I wanted to rep
Here,
them.
let's get a pic right here. We're gonna throw it up on the podcast after.
All right,
We gotta get the pic of the.
I wanted to rep it, and I was like, "Hey mom, can I?" I was like, "Hey mom, can I buy a Big Baller Brand hoodie for the game?" Like that's the only reason why I bought it. I still wear it, but I bought it just for the game.
Was Lonzo there then?
Oh yeah, this was.
Did you see LeVar in the stands?
No, I saw Demo, his agent, though.
Oh, Demo!
Yeah.
Get your merch.
But yeah, I saw.
Are you a fan of Lonzo's rap?
Oh yeah, I have not anymore, but I used to have like his album on my playlist. I mean, his songs are pretty good.
Not bad. We rock him at the Cages.
Yeah, they're not bad. But
that's dope, dude.
Mm-hmm. He's one of the best rapping athletes that I know of.
Oh, what about Marvin Bagley? You gotta get on Marvin.
I like Damian Lillard.
Yeah, he's savage. Apparently, he got a song out with Lil Wayne now.
Oh yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, his
Will
latest
told me
album.
last night.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope, dude. But yeah, you got to get on Marvin Bagley. He's got Famous Los, right? Dude does all the Twitter stuff.
I've heard of him before.
Funny guy. He got on one with you've heard it at the Cages actually. Well, I'll send it to you, but we'll put that out too. So Marvin and Famous Los hit us up on give Natural Sponge some love, man. Andrew Luck apparently quits last night, 2 nights ago, whenever it was, 2 nights ago, and everybody boos him. Everybody complains. Everybody cries. At what point are we just going to say this dude's a fucking human being and who gives a fuck and shut up?
Yeah, I mean,
he's struggling mentally.
Yeah, well, the thing is that the people who are booing, they've never had to do a job in a career like that. Like they have no clue how hard it is to go out there every day when your back's injured, your ankle's injured, and still perform at that high a level. And I honestly like can see why you're retarded. Like I have no like backlash towards him. I'm completely.
I mean, if a guy says I'm retiring, then retire.
Yeah.
I don't care when it is. If he's done, he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Like we want to put a huge emphasis on mental health, and the NBA now has mental health professionals for every team and all that stuff. I'm sure the NFL, if they don't already, they're going to have somebody soon because they all seem to do the same stuff.
Yeah.
But if we're putting so much on mental health, why is everybody dogging him? Because you're going to have Doug Gottlieb or some idiot on the radio or on these talk shows talking about how he pussed out and he's not this or that and he shouldn't have quit and blah, blah, blah. But then we're going to turn around and we're going to talk about how it's good that this guy took a mental health day and he took a few weeks off. LeBron had a mental health. He left for what, 2 months?
Yeah.
I mean, a few years ago, right? During the season?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody bitched about that.
Yeah, I think the reason why everyone was so upset was because the Colts had a really, like, surprisingly good year last year. And that's when Andrew Luck was injured. They had Brissett or whatever his last name is. And then this year they're like, all right, he's back. This is going to be our year. We have a chance to go to the AFC Championship. And then all of a sudden he just retires, like, mid-preseason. And it just came to a shock. But I saw a video that Pat McAfee put out, and he explained it, like, really well, why, people were upset and stuff like that. But I totally agree with his decision. I mean, if you play for 7 years or however long he played for, and, just playing for 1 year can mentally exhaust you, but for 7 years and dealing with all the injuries, and I feel like he should have played longer, but I can clearly understand why he retired early.
Oh yeah, and definitely like comparing it to even at it, like you said, people don't know if they've never been there. They don't know. And from I've had parents in the Young Wizards program, and I've seen parents in other programs, and I've worked professionally with people in this county for the last 7 years.
Mm.
And it's crazy some of the stuff you see, even though it's not in my program, the stuff you see on a daily basis from afar with, like, there was a guy in the cage the other night working with his daughter in softball.
Mm.
Like, he was ripping her
Mm-hmm.
the whole time about how she needs to do this pitching and needs to do this hitting. And I get it, whatever, at Alan Smothers, be that as it may.
Mm-hmm.
But she literally at one point looked at her dad and said, "Dad, I'm done. Can I go home? I have homework to do."
Mm-hmm.
They stayed another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not about you. It's not about you parents. It's not about you fans.
I think I know the exact person you're talking about. I've been to the cages before, and I've seen like a dad and their daughter there like pitching, and like every pitch, like I take a break. I take a break in between like hitting up the tee, and I just watch her throw one, and it'd be right down the middle, and like every time he'd have something like little to say, like,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
it'd be crazy, what he'd say to her.
And here's my thing, and it's easy to say about this one. I know for a fact that this guy has never played girls fast pitch softball.
Oh yeah.
You know why? Because he's not a female.
Yeah, it's like,
Like,
how are you telling her to do all this stuff when you've never even done it before?
YouTube, baby. YouTube. I know a guy came to me one time, funniest thing in the world. He said, "John, I learned how to throw a curveball on YouTube last night. He wants to see if he can throw it here in his bullpen." I just looked at him and I said, "First off, if he learned it on YouTube, I don't want to see it. I'm not being mean."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I understand, and it's a double-edged sword. We would be bitching if the dad wouldn't take time to go be with his daughter
Mm-hmm.
and help her, But there's a line that we, as America, in every aspect, are crossing every day,
Oh, yeah.
and it's so, it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, my dad, whenever like we go and hit at the cages, like normally it's just me that like goes and hits, but whenever he goes, he literally does not say one word to me. He just sits there and throws me the ball, and like I'll hit it, and then like if I hit one really good, like he'll say like nice hit or something like that. But if I swing and miss or do something wrong, he won't say a word to me just because. Like, I don't know. It's just I'd rather have a parent like that than a parent that's like constantly like they have no clue what they're doing and they're still acting like they know everything.
Yeah, if the kid wants to do it, then have their back, but
Mm-hmm.
don't force them to do it. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? And to be fair, this is a perfect time to put this story in. To be fair, one of our guys in the Brotherhood went to a camp last week or a couple weeks ago, and Division I camp, and they invited him there. It was an invite camp, and he was doing his thing. Well, apparently the dad texted me halfway through and was
Mm-hmm.
like rolling, laughing, LOL, LOL, LOL. Apparently, what you've taught him defensively is wrong. This is what these coaches told him,
Mm-hmm.
the Division I coaches. And I said, there's only two ways to field a ground ball. There's an American way and there's an international way. The only difference is the feet. Everything else, if you want to come to me and show me something different, you can kiss my ass. It's not true.
Mm-hmm.
There's only two ways. And then 30 minutes later, talking shit about his hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, of course, there's a million ways to hit.
Yeah.
So whatever, if it works, it works. I don't care how you stand. I don't care what, you got to be in 2-3 places. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
If you get to those three, you can hit a baseball very hard.
Yeah.
Very far. But besides that, everybody's different. We're going to make sure that we're, as comfortable as we can be and consistent as we can be.
Yeah.
But these guys are Division I coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's a reason, if anybody out there listening to this, there's a reason that y'all went 29-36 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They told him, he's a short guy. He's a small guy. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
He's a senior this year, a short guy. This is what he told me. I asked him 7 times a day. I said, make sure you tell the truth. I got to have this for the podcast. So tell me if this is, he said, I swear, Coach, this is exactly what they said. Short guys, he hit one out at Winthrop a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You know who I'm talking about. He hit one out at Winthrop a month ago. I mean, D1 field.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's short. He's got power. Tyler Hanover is, apparently his birthday was the other day. I saw it. I hadn't talked to him in years. I saw it on Facebook. Tyler Hanover, shortest kid I've ever seen. I mean, he's a short guy.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up playing. We grew up together, playing on the same AAU teams. Before USSA and travel, it was AAU, and you were handpicked, not just daddy started team and stuff.
Yeah.
But he ends up doing his thing. He goes to LSU, plays third base, short fellow.
Mm-hmm.
Goes and plays third base at LSU. hits a bomb in the College World Series at the old Rosenblatt Stadium. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's funny because he was a big Yankees fan growing up, and he got drafted by the Red Sox. He's in minors playing second base. Okay, so he's a short guy. But they told him short guys need to focus on singles, infield hits, and bloopers. What in God's green earth are you talking about?
What does Jose Altuve do?
Obviously, Jose Altuve, you need to focus on singles, infield hits, and bloopers.
I mean, the dude hits like 25 plus home runs a year. I mean, he's obviously knows what he's doing.
I mean, my God,
Yeah.
why are we? Obviously, there's a reason your program sucks, and obviously, there it goes again. Is the agenda-based America? Is why are we overthinking things? I don't understand. We overthink everything, and people don't listen to what they say. And then when you call them out on, if you do pay attention, then they get pissed off at you, or whatever it is. There's nothing. I mean, and then the last one, same coaching staff. Apparently, my guy who we had worked, he had worked his tail off for the last 2 years defensively at second base, and he struggled mightily to get around the ball at second base. Not around and all this stuff, but like get to the ball and have his feet set where he can catch and go at one time to make the throw back across the diamond. And they told him that he doesn't need to do that. He needs to attack the ball straight, chop his feet, and drop straight down, and then get his momentum going.
That's like the opposite of what you should do, really.
Coach Taylor, listen to this one, man, because I'm about to blow a gasket about these guys. It's ridiculous, man. It's just, and like you've seen already working with me this year, you can, I mean, am I right? Am I the most different coach you've ever had?
Yeah, I mean, you're probably the best one because like all the other ones, they just say the same crap and it hasn't really worked for me.
I didn't pay him to say that, guys. No, but I mean, it's just, if you learn the game and you watch the game, and it goes with, like you would be a hell of a basketball coach, as would I, because like when we watch basketball, we're not just like, oh, look at him dunk, or look at you're watching everything.
I can see the plays like develop before they even happen.
Right.
Like if a guy's that's a screen, I can see the guy's gonna be open in the corner because the guy's gonna rotate in to help defense and then just kick it out.
Yeah, and like we're watching Duke the first game of the year last year, and this is even a Zion play, so everybody don't get on me on Zion. So Trey comes down, calls a play. And, like, I saw the play that first one of the year. I saw the play he called, what he did, and I saw it happen. It was like 14 games later, I see the same thing. I was like, watch this. Cam's going to come off the baseline right here and shoot a three in the corner. Cam comes off screen, goes to baseline, hits a three in the corner, shoots a three, hits a three in the corner. And my whole family looking at me downstairs like, what in the hell? Like, but I think that's different mindsets. And different, I mean, the way you look at things and look at them differently, I don't know. It's just, but yeah, it was crazy to hear him say that he was doing things wrong. He got his eval though, and they told him he had good hands. I'm like, well, there you go. You're good at one part of life. That's crazy. So, what do you think about Chokovich? You know about that? Desmond Howard on College Game Day. He did they were talking, he said something about, I forget, it was Michigan, Ohio State. They're talking about, is Michigan going to be Ohio State this year? He's picked Michigan, something, along those lines. And he was like, well, once the something side of me says, I want to choke a bitch. And the other side of me says that these guys need to do this, this, and this, and that's how Michigan will win. Twitter, Instagram blew up because he said choke a bitch. Everybody was offended. Yeah. Last Saturday, first college game of the year, everybody was offended. Choke a bitch. Obviously, this guy that is a professional is not wanting men to go choke women.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Just a little, like, saying. I mean, I guarantee
it came from the Chappelle show. And he even said it. He apologized, like, apparently I offended everybody. This was, like, when they came back from commercials, 2 sets later. And he was like, apparently I've offended everyone, and I apologize from the Chappelle show. I thought it was funny. I was making a joke. Sorry if it made you offended. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, the people that get offended are probably saying, like, worse stuff to people.
Oh,
and
exactly.
they don't even, like, realize it.
1,000%, bro.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
It's weird how, like, the world works these days, I guess.
So, I still haven't seen you in the picture of the at the football game Friday night. I actually took my fat butt, went to St. James Sharks football game against Loris. We went to see my boy Andrew Buffkin up in Loris. Shout out to Buffman. He's a freshman and he dressed out. He didn't play none, but he looked like a stud in the uni, man. But we went and I have never in my life, and I'm going to be that old guy that bitches for a second. When I went to all right, so actually I'm going to do this first. So you went to games when you were in middle school, right?
Yeah.
What did you do in middle school? Like your mom drop you off?
Yeah, my parents would drop me off, and I'd just go and I'd sit on like the corner and just hang out with friends that like weren't in high school.
Okay.
I wasn't allowed to be in the student section, so
Yeah, you weren't there yet,
I just
right?
chilled there like any other person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you see the kids that walk around the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I remember doing that a few times when I was like in 7th or 8th grade at our high school football games.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You walk around, you mess with girls if you're a dude. The girls like play games with the dudes and everybody's laughing, giggling. It's a fun night, whatever.
Yeah.
Your kids. Dude, these kids, do you see everybody pouring sweat?
Oh yeah, no, everyone like I don't know. I've never I've seen it at other high schools a little bit. Like our high school, if you go to the football games, you don't go there to watch the game. You go there to walk around and socialize. Like it's crazy.
Dude, no, I'm telling you, bro. These people were walking around, but they were sprinting.
Yeah.
They would sprint from we sat over there on Loris' side the first half,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went and stood in the end zone near the St. James student section in the second half the whole time. Kaylee and her friend Cam Fam, they went walking. BP saw a girl he knew or whatever, went walking with her, and they went and sat down and watched the game, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking some of these kids, they weren't walking around. They would walk, talk, and they would take off sprinting somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you running?
Yeah, it's like
It was the most asinine thing ever. I went to take a leak, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And above the student section, there was a group of kids, probably, I don't know, 5th grade, 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Up there with some parents. They were spitting over the top. They were they were spitting at people that were walking to the concession stand. I'm like, where in the hell am I right now? This is absurd.
Yeah, when you get into high school and you're in the student section, obviously you watch the game, but that was the first time I've ever been. That was the second time I've ever been in the student section, and up until the fourth quarter when it got really close and intense, no one was even watching the game in the student section. They were all just turned around taking pictures with each other and
Boom.
talking.
Thank you.
It was crazy.
That
No one was chanting or cheering. I'd have to start the cheers and everything because I'm just the only one watching the game.
yeah, because you're a sports fan.
Yeah.
You're a normal human
Yeah,
being.
if we scored a touchdown, no joke, if we scored a touchdown, no one would have noticed, unless no one was cheering.
Yeah.
But no, everyone was just on their phones or talking to one another. But I don't know.
The guy who if you know his name, don't say it because I'm not trying to call him out. But
Mhm.
the guy that does the announcing,
Oh yeah,
he was terrible, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's horrible.
He started barking. He was barking half the game.
Yeah.
And a mom or somebody in the background was like, "We're the Sharks, not a damn bulldog. Why are you barking?" I was rolling, dude. But no joke, I've never in my life. This guy, I was like, look, if I didn't coach half this school in baseball, I would walk up here right now, and I would take the mic from him to say, "Let me see the mic for a second." I just would be like, "Hey, idiots." When the guy on the PA system says, "And that's another Sharks," and he stops talking, everybody on the Shark side is supposed to say, "First down."
Yeah. And no one
All
said
night.
No.
He said it 40 times. I don't know how many first downs they got, but say they got 30 of them. He said it 30 times. And that's another Sharks. And you heard nothing.
Oh yeah, there's
I'm over
no
here
enthusiasm.
my gosh.
There's no enthusiasm.
It was absurd, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I have never. It was bad.
Yeah,
It was tough.
we formed a whole student section and dressed up and everything, and we probably got 2 or 3 good chants going for 5 seconds. But we get a chant going for maybe 2 seconds, and we just stop it because no one would do it. And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I heard you can't do that
Yeah.
on a penalty,
Oh yeah.
and stuff like that. But I mean, it was absurd. It was absurd. But moving forward, who's the guy that Hunter Renfrow with a touchdown there? The Sox T guy, watching
yeah.
the ACC network guys. Who was the ringleader behind the let's get the everybody in Bahama gear and beach gear and stuff. And you fill everybody in on that. Keep talking. I'm gonna take a leak.
Okay,
This
so
is our first leak session. We're gonna get up with like Mike Stud and them and figure out how to get the music going for a P session.
all right. So basically, we have sort of like it's like an after school committee, like where a bunch of kids, like it's sort of like our class presidents and our just board committee, like of our school, they get together and they have after school meetings and they organize. We have like 6 or 7 home games per year, and they all get together. And they organize like, hey, we're gonna wear like this on a certain night, and our student section has a Twitter, and so they posted the schedules on the Twitter, and so now if like anyone wants to know what we're wearing to certain games and stuff, you just go on the Twitter and then you go on there and you dress up, and then we post alerts like before the game, like hey get there at a certain time so we can go over chants and stuff like that. But yeah, we have like a whole organization of stuff on Twitter that we post and stuff like that to let people know what's happening.
Is Marlo behind that?
No, I don't know who runs the account, but we have like a whole Twitter account for our student section. And so we post on there like, hey, like what we're going to wear and then what time to show up and all that stuff like that. So that's how like all the information gets out.
Gotcha. That's dope, dude. How you liking the new ride?
I'm liking it a lot. I just got new LED lights from the inside of it. So whenever like my music's playing, the lights like they flash like back and forth to the beat of the song.
Nice, dude.
I can have that, or I can just have it like set to a color, like not like no beat. If I
set the mood with the ladies, the ambiance.
Oh yeah, but I saw it on an Instagram ad. Like normally Instagram ads are like fake products, like rip off and stuff like that. And I saw it was on sale for like $20, and I was like, I had an extra $20 to spend, and I was like, well, I could either buy this and it be like turned out to be real and be really good, or I can buy it and it turned out to be crappy and not work. And I bought it and it actually works. I'm very surprised.
Does it plug into your like outlets or?
Yeah, it plugs into like the cigarette lighter at the bottom that I never use, and then and you can just like it's like sticky and stuff like that, so you can just stick it to like wherever you want, and that's how it works.
Nice. I love this podcast game, dude, because like you just start talking about stuff and like shit pops in your head.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back to the football game Friday night.
Uh-huh.
I'm walking in. Okay, it says no outside drinks or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I got Kaylee's drink in one pocket, my drink in the other, and BP don't care, and he has his drink in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going in, and I take out, you know, because they metal detect you or whatever. I go in, and I don't know why, it was just in my pocket. So I had my can of pouches, Grizzly Wintergreen pouches, and then I had my Grizzly Wintergreen long cut. There was one left in there. I was going to do about halftime, trying to stop that mess, just do the pouches.
Yeah.
So I'm going in, and I pull it out. I got my wallet, my keys, my inhaler, and my Grizzly Wintergreen long cut.
I know where this is all to go.
Okay. They take it from me.
Yeah.
She says, you can't take those in, sir. And so I look around, you can't take that in, sir. So I turn around, I'm like, what? I thought she was talking about the drinks. And she was like, Dad, I've already had to throw a 5 away. I said, throw what? So the cigarette lighter is what made me think of it.
Mm-hmm.
I look inside the stadium. There's a lady standing there smoking and 2 kids that are not, they didn't drive themselves to the game.
Yeah.
They're vaping.
Yeah.
And I have to throw it. 31 years old, I have to throw my dip can away.
Yeah, I mean,
get out of here.
It's like, yeah, before they always advertise in our school, like, no tobacco products on school campus, but, like, you can walk in the game and literally see, like, 10 or 15 people either smoking or vaping. I'm like, how did you get in? But, like, I can't, like, I'm not saying, like, I would, but, like, how can you get in with, like...
The coaches are dipping.
Yeah.
Because they're grown-ass men.
Yeah, it's like, it's not harming anyone. Like, if you dip, it's like, what are you going to do? Like, accidentally spit on someone or something
if
like
I'm
that?
spitting on someone and that's a problem, then, you know,
yeah,
I should not do that.
But if you're at the top of the bleachers, mind your own business, watching the game, like, who cares? Like,
right.
It's not going to hurt anyone.
I'm standing in the end zone behind Freddie down here talking to him about football. Some old man, it's like 80 years old.
Yeah.
And my kids are running, or not running. They did not run. Shouts to them. Like everybody else doing a track and field. It was, oh my gosh. Anyway, but yeah, like I'm not harming anyone. And I was like, well, you're not going to take the trash out tonight, are you? And she's like, no. I'm like, all right, well, fine. Just put it in there. I'll get it when I come out. All the trash cans were gone.
Oh, yeah.
I was so mad.
Mm-hmm.
So mad.
Yeah.
Makes zero sense. Like people vaping and it's crazy, man. It's unbelievable. I was so fired up for a minute. Went in a gas station the other night, bought a 12-pack, and this guy, he goes, he got ID. I was like, who? He's like, he got ID? I'm like, it's my 13-year-old son, dude. He's like, he got to have ID. I can't sell you this beer. I said, do what? Like, literally was telling me that he cannot sell it to me because...
Your kid's with you.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, he doesn't have an ID because he's 13. Like, he would have an ID, or we could go get him an identification card, at the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
But who does that?
Yeah.
Unless they're going out of the country or something on some school trip in 6th grade.
Yeah.
It was absurd. I literally could not. He wouldn't tell it to me. I went across the street, got my stuff, went back the next day, talked to his manager. She was all apologetic and stuff because he was a dick, dude. He started so I said some words to him and stuff too. But like, is that not absurd? Like, I get it this day and age, but when you see me every day, whether it's buying Gatorade, water before baseball, or cold beer on the way home, you see us every day.
Yeah.
There's a lot of white F-150s out there, but mine looks different than everybody's here. Like, you see us every day, if not 4 days a week. Why are you causing a stir? It's the same thing.
It's like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, if you're legal age, like, no matter if you have a kid or not, you should be able to walk in and buy whatever you want.
Right.
Like, I don't see, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, leave the kid in the car when it's hot just to make sure you can buy the beers?
Yeah, it's completely ass backwards.
Or, like, they have to, like, if you bring your kids in to get stuff at the gas station, if they buy a snack or something, do they have to buy it, walk out to the car, and then you buy your beer?
That night, he got Starburst and a Sprite. I was like, obviously, these are for him.
Yeah.
Like, it was absurd. I need a can of Grizzly in this 12-pack right here. Obviously, that's for me. That's where my life is going right now. Like, are you kidding me, dude? Unbelievable, man. But that's life, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we talk about the sports, and then where's the love on Natural Sponge?
Yeah. It's all hate.
But I'm telling you, dude. But no, I've actually been. We always talk about here the 7 laws, dude. I'm still on chapter 1 because, like, I'm trying to focus on the 3 laws of full potentiality, and that's number 1 of the 7. And with that is meditating at some point each day by yourself, obviously meditating in silence and letting your mind stop working. Because the first beginning of it, when I've tried to do it, and they said it would be like this, is when you first start, your mind races and you almost get anxiety and stuff. And finally your brain kind of shuts down and like gets tired and stops. And then you really are. It's an odd feeling. It's a good feeling. And number 2 is being at nature at some point every day, where there's, watching the sunset or, just relaxing and being with nature. And number 3 is not judging all day. And that is the hardest thing ever, because if you think about it to an extent, you could even say, like, if I walked in and saw a guy hitting, I would judge his swing based on my knowledge of baseball. But it's, it's odd. It's a hard one to do. And I've, backed it off because I know that's impossible. That I can't, professionally say, like, I'm not going to look at this kid swing and think anything. But, like, when it comes to a way a person looks or is dressed or the way they talk or whatever it is, and I think it's really, trying to get the kids into it and stuff. But it's difficult, dude. I'm excited to see the rest of the book. But, but I guess that's why the love popped in when we were doing the logo for Natural Sponge and Friends, is like the love is definitely what's lacking in the world. I mean, have you seen that the Amazon rainforest is on fire? It's crazy, man, and people don't give a shit, dude.
Yeah, it's like, if it was in our country, they would care.
Right.
But where it's like somewhere else, it's like, yeah, my life's good. I don't really care about that.
Yeah, and I wish I had the money, and even then, people still wouldn't give a shit. But, like, I wish I had the money to, like, help do something about it, because I didn't realize this until the other day. The Amazon rainforest supplies 20% of the world's oxygen.
Yeah.
20% of the whole world, man. Yeah. I mean, that thing burns down, we're at 80%.
Yeah. There's a tropical storm that's coming up the East Coast, like, supposed to hit, like, next week. And it's like, you see no one caring about the rainforest now, but you're going to start seeing a lot of people care about this little tropical storm that's about to come hit us.
Because it's going to hit us.
Yeah, it's because it's going to hit us. It's like, and it's weird because, like, in other countries, people have more sympathy, in my opinion, because, like, you always see people in, like, other countries doing, like, good deeds for each other. Right. But here, it's just, like, everyone's selfish, in my opinion.
Do you think it's social media?
I don't know, because before social media, like, our country really wasn't that, like, sympathetic for other people to begin with. But, I mean, social media, no matter what it is, like, no matter how you look at things, social media has an impact on basically everything we do.
It's
So.
it's definitely a double-edged sword because
Yeah.
we can be all in and say, look at all the good it's doing. Like we can be able to get this out and get our word spread to people we never even know. People on the other side of the world can listen to Natural Sponge and Friends, but at the same time, it can be almost like a movie. I heard somebody talking the other day. I think it was at the football game actually, and they were talking about the rainforest and all that, and they were talking about how they were watching the video of the rainforest burning like it was a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the disconnect of, oh shit, this is real. Like we don't look at this, the rainforest burning as that's we don't accept that it's a real thing that's happening.
Yeah.
But a guy can hold a white sheet up and then drop it on social media and disappear. You know, I mean, you've seen that one before?
Yeah.
Where he's acting like he's a ghost and it's a joke. But people take that seriously.
Yeah.
So there's like a huge disconnect. And I said it on a few podcasts, and if I get, say the same thing over and over, I really don't care. But like my dad was talking one day and he was like, dude, people are rude as hell these days. And I'm like, I don't think they are, you're right. But I don't think it's so much as rude as hell. I think it's more of a fact of like people just don't know what's going on. They don't get it.
Yeah, well, I was like, when I went and helped out for at the All-American thing at Market Commons, whenever I was volunteering and giving out like jerseys in like 100-degree weather on turf and everything, and as I was like giving these jerseys out to parents, they were complaining about like they ordered like the last name on the back of the jersey and it wasn't there, and I was just like, and they were getting so frustrated at me, and I was just like, your son's literally at an All-American tournament with all these great facilities, great uniforms, getting like $100 equipment and all that stuff, and you're complaining about a last name on a jersey.
And you obviously see them fucking 16 years old, and I did not make these.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. People are ungrateful like for what they really have, because like back to the rainforest thing, like you don't really care about it at first, but then like if something bad happens to us, you're like, wow, like this is a horrible thing, but no one's really thinking about it, I guess. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's everybody's consumed in themselves.
Yeah.
But we want to act like we're good, man.
Yeah, we want to act like we're caring. I don't like the people that post stuff about it to spread the awareness on social media, but whenever they spread the awareness, they're not like doing anything about it.
Right.
Like people post
they did something because in social media they shared it, so they're good now.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
like people post like I'm not like really calling anyone out, but I sort of am. But it's like girls at my school, they'll post
Natural Sponge, baby.
Yeah, they'll post pictures on like their Instagram stories, or whatever, like save the rainforest, and like they'll post something about how people aren't doing anything about it, but they're not doing anything about it either. They're just putting a picture, but like, what are you doing to help it? Like, you're not donating anything.
Right.
You're just putting something on social media and saying, "Hey, do this," and then you won't do anything about it.
Right.
It's
like the Jimmy John's thing. Is it Jimmy John's? You know about that? And the elephant?
Hold
on, let me look this up. This is why we need a full-time guy. That's why we need somebody to send us $1 million. Will be our number one podcast supporter. Jimmy John's. Let's see here. I think it's Jimmy John's. Dead air. Oh, there it was. That was it. No. I don't know. But like it was a restaurant where a guy had there it was. Bingo. I'm so good, dude. Jimmy John's trends after an old photo of an owner with an elephant he killed went viral. That was this week. So my bad. So he killed an elephant overseas, obviously, and he posted a picture millions of years ago. Somebody found it, resurfaced. Now everybody's boycotting Jimmy John's. I'm all for animals. We went to the Riverbank Zoo. We went to the Palmetto games. It was dope. I wish I could own 1,000 lions and tigers and every animal. I wish my house could be a zoo. I mean, it pretty much is now. But but it would. I mean, I love animals, but who gives a shit, man?
Yeah, it's like you weren't even like you weren't hating them before. Now that the owner of it, like not even the workers or anything, just like the owner of it probably doesn't really care about it anymore.
Yeah,
it's like
he's probably done sold out most of them anyway.
Yeah,
and the picture is so old and grainy. Like it was obviously from a long time ago. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like the people that got so fired up about that, let's stop, look in the mirror and say, look, what am I doing to benefit? What am I doing to become a better person today? And what am I doing after that to help my neighbors and help people that are around me in my community?
Yeah.
It's absurd, dude. I don't know. Like, this is an angry Natural Sponge podcast. It's just, it's a lot, man. People are crazy. And I know people that are, that you talk about agendas and stuff like that. People that are all about, what can they do to help. There's a perception to me, especially this day and age, this year in 2019, of people want to look great on social media. They want to look good on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. They want to look good for everybody, and they want to somehow pull off portraying that in their public, where they're from and where they live, in their community. And it's getting to a point where, back in the day, you'd be like, well, I know this guy's like this, but he doesn't really, he's not really like that. But now we're so caught up in, it's a never-ending job for some people. Like, this is how I'm portrayed. This is how I've made myself look, and now at all cost I have to do that.
Yeah.
Like, those people need to go away.
Yeah, it's like Instagram models. Like,
oh yeah, oh my gosh,
god, like Instagram models are probably the fakest people I've ever seen in my life. You can, like, on Instagram, they're this like beauty, like glamour person, but then outside they're just like any other human being, and it's just like they want to be seen as this, but really they're not. Like, they're not even close to being that. It's crazy.
Funny Sponge story, man. I was in high school, and there was this girl. Gosh, she was so bad, dude. Her name was Holly. I actually forget her last name now, but she was like, I was a freshman, she was a senior. She was like the girl, you know what I mean? Like, everybody has that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like, she is an angel. She's the Instagram model. We didn't have that at the time, but she was that. And we talked or hung out for like a month, dude. She was crazy. Everybody's a person. Everybody's human.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's above anybody, dude. It's crazy. Like, I literally will never forget that when I hear about Instagram models and stuff. Like, she was my Instagram model, dude. And she was, and then you start talking to her and like, yo, this chick is off her rocker.
Yeah, it's like crazy.
Yeah, and then she had like this weird little, like, I don't know, when she chewed her mouth. I was weird, dude.
That's why people
are human.
Yeah, that's why like a lot of people are like not in relationships anymore these days, is because they'll talk online and stuff, and then when they finally meet in person, they're like, oh, this person's
they
crazy.
Can't talk.
Oh yeah, they can't talk. They don't know how to communicate.
Oh, dude, I think it was during our practice podcast. BP was in here, and he, I'm dating this girl. Oh yeah, well, I haven't met her yet. You're not dating her. I haven't. Yeah, well, where's she live? In Indiana. Okay, dude, you're not dating her. Come on. I understand the social media stuff or like the day and age with phones and everything, but like, come on, dude. My goodness.
Yeah.
And my dad always just laughed. I was a Tinder guy back in the day. But he would always laugh at me like with Tinder, because he's like, dude, that's weird. Like, you're weird. Like, that is not.
Yeah. That's how you do it these days.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
That's it. That's how everybody gets murdered and people get stolen. And I'm telling you, dude, it's a nut job world. So apparently here in podcast number 9, we need to pray for everybody. Everybody relax and get into it, man. But before we finish up, man, appreciate you coming over again.
No problem.
Tell Mama I said I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
We're working out tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we get another little workout in. But moving forward, what does Ethan Lesser want to do? What does he want to do in college? Give me scenarios. You got baseball and college. You got and just base. You get drafted. I mean, where are you at? What do you want to do moving forward?
Well, definitely for my high school career, just definitely get stronger, get faster. Like my game is there. It's just I lack. I mean, I'm pretty strong, but I feel like if I can continue like my hitting right now and then add strength to that, that'll help me a lot. So probably just during my high school careers get stronger and stuff, and maybe I don't know if I'm definitely not good enough like right now to go like D1 or anything, but if I can maybe get an offer, like if I do really good in my junior and senior year in high school, maybe get a D2 offer. But I've been saying for a while I want to go to college for an athletic training, like a sports medicine degree. That's what like I really want to do, because I used to like not know what I wanted to do. My grandparents one day were like, you should like go into the sports medicine career, and I was like, what's that? And they explained it to me, and then after that, did some research, and now like I'm taking sports medicine classes in high school just to like just get some experience with it and stuff. But yeah, if baseball doesn't work out, then sports medicine's definitely the way to go.
And that's what I tell every guy. It's pretty much that sat down in that seat, man. Is when you get older and you're in junior and senior year and you're talking to colleges and we all expect to go, to Clemson or South Carolina for you, or go West Virginia, or go to, but it literally comes down to if you guys out there listen to podcasts too, I'm talking about it. I had Division I offers, and it was Coach Taylor. Man, you find a place where you are happy and you like the campus and you fell in love with the coach. It's luckily you don't play football or basketball because you got to go to Alabama, Duke, Clemson, UCLA. You got to go to the Florida. You got to go to USC's. You got to do all that. But with baseball, dude, Albert Pujols was at like a D3 JUCO, and then he transferred out, and then but like if you're good in baseball, they find you, and it doesn't matter if you go to a D3 JUCO or you go to one of the best players I know. Definitely one of the best athletes I know, Austin Hansmeyer. He's at an NAI school up in Virginia Beach right now, and I actually FaceTimed us yesterday, and he talking about his first week in college, dude. Josh Hester, D3, William Peace University, and dudes are good. They're studs, and baseball's weird, man. If it doesn't matter where you go, if you perform at that level, your professional career is definitely happening. But it's funny. My wife is she graduated with a degree in sports medicine and stuff like that. Dude, it's a fun gig. I know my trainer Jessica Anglin. Shout out Jessica. What's up, babe? She actually did something with like the Pittsburgh Pirates for a while and stuff before she went to Mars Hill and after and all that stuff. So it's a good gig to get into. But so you're in all honors courses. You straight A guy.
A's and B's. I was straight A's up until like middle school, and then things got hard. But I've never gotten a C or a C before in a report.
There you go. That's I know you got to ask before you leave. You got to make sure to ask Megan when she got her first and only B. Ever. It's a funny story. She told me that her dad made her take a typewriting course or a keyboard or whatever that is, typing course in high school, and apparently her mom and dad had both had the same teacher, and she was like super mean, and she ended up getting a B in it. It was her only B. She was valedictorian in high school and college, and that was her only B ever. So it's funny. I think it was like an 89 or something. It was like
that's unfortunate.
I'm telling you, dude. But so basketball season's coming up. It's around the corner. I'll be here before you know it. The Lakers just got who today?
Dwight Howard officially.
Oh boy, look out!
DeMarcus Cousins got injured, so it was either between Dwight Howard or Joakim Noah, but they got a right guy in Dwight.
He is still around, Noah.
Noah, yep, he's a free agent. He was
I'm a free agent too. You guys picked me up. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't see the hype. I mean, he's a good defender, but the dude's jump shot's horrible, and he can get rebounds. That's about it.
How can you pay a guy? This is anybody. How can you pay a guy $1 million plus a year and they cannot shoot a free throw?
Yeah, it's like with Ben Simmons. Like Ben Simmons just got a max contract, but he still can't hit a jump shot.
Like you're 15 feet away with no one on you.
Yeah.
How can you not hit a free throw? I'm gonna give this guy $1 million plus a year to not be able to do his job.
Yeah, I'm like there's kids that go to college and stuff and play overseas who don't get any money or barely get any money. They can still shoot better than players with getting max contracts. And
100%.
Stuff. It's like they can do the job better and they're still getting paid less.
That's life, baby. It's funny. I was watching the coach the hell it's on right now. Whatever it is, the team the class that saved Coach K, and it was funny to watch them in '86. They got fouled up 1 with like 20 seconds left. And they got fouled, and they were so hyped. They got the rebound and got fouled. They were so hyped because, like, in '86, it was, I'm going to go hit my free throws. And comes down, bang, bang, free throws.
Yeah.
They get fouled again or whatever, and everybody's so pumped because it's over because we know we're going to hit the free throws. And I compared that in my mind the other night at 1 o'clock in the morning to RJ going to the line this year when he missed the free throws, and or he missed the first one, and then tried to miss the second one and hit it. Thanks, RJ. But like, it's crazy the way not only we talk about the shift in kids, we talk about the shift in life, we talk about the shift in everything, and it's crazy how something as minimal as a free throw has changed in the last 30 years. I mean, back then they knew they were going to hit it.
Yeah.
Now you're holding your breath.
Yeah, guys get signed now just to hit free throws. There's some guys on teams.
Yet again, I'm still a free agent out there.
Yeah, like some guys on teams, like the most unathletic people you'll ever see, but they'll get paid like $2-3 million a year just to come in and hit some free throws. Like they don't play the whole season, but when they need free throws, they'll sub them in.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's amazing, dude. But as always, Natural Sponge and Friends, powered by Diamond Wizards Baseball. Make sure you guys check out Phoenix Roasters Coffee. It actually is a really cool. We had Campbell Timms on podcast number 8, and it was super awesome to talk to him and learn what they do over in Guatemala and mission trips and everything like that. Make sure that you guys continue to share everything on YouTube. We are over, and I wanted to have the correct numbers when I did this podcast, but we're just in podcast 1 through 8. We are over 1,000 views on YouTube already. So, hopefully it only goes further when we get on all the podcasting platforms this week. And, in your Big Baller Brand top, Lester, you stay out of trouble and over there at the Sharkland.
Oh, yeah, I will.
We'll see you tomorrow, big guy. And we will be back on here Thursday morning. I might do one by myself after that. I don't know. You might come over here tomorrow night and do another one. Who knows?
Yeah.
But we're going to be on. But Alan Bybee in Grasstown. Alan Bybee will be here in the house Thursday morning. Guy had a little medical procedure done this morning. When he hears this, he's going to die laughing because he was texting me during this morning when he was coming out of anesthesia, and it was hilarious, dude. So, award-winning mandolin player. He's the lead vocals on, I think, 12 of the 15 or 16 songs. They're on the number 4 on the bluegrass charts right now in the world. So he will be on this week, and I think that's an awesome one to have. And we got a couple more guys coming on here in the next few weeks that are definitely going to change up our flow a little bit and let us all learn a little more. Make sure you guys take your CBD and be healthy. Make sure if you guys one thing I want to talk about real quick is make sure you guys go on to All for Paul's website, and there's, I don't know if it's a video you have to do or something, but there's something we have to ask. There's a dog. Hold on, let me find this real quick. There's a dog we have to talk to. That sounds stupid. Why we got to talk to a dog? We have to talk to Boone. Boone is the first ever service dog at the All for Paws. He was one of the founders. Boone, the founder. Maybe Boone's a human being. I thought Boone was a dog the whole time. I'm rereading this. Boone, the founder of All for Paws service dogs. And they match kids with the dogs. Niece Amy is getting her service dog in September, and her dog is already matched with her, but they will not put the list out until they get so many likes or comments and stuff like that to keep everybody there so we can see what dog is going to drive Poppy crazy for the next 10 years. So 12, 14, maybe 18 years, we hope. But do that, All for Paws, service dogs and everything, helping kids with Dravet syndrome and all kinds of stuff that they go through. Lester, what is something that no one knows about you, bro? What is one thing you do? Keep it as PG as pop.
Trying to think of some things. No one knows about me.
You a Fortnite guy?
Yeah, I'm a big for it. I still play it, but that's just because there's no other game out. I'm waiting for 2K20 to come out. That's about it.
Yes, I gotta retire Griffey Allen Cook though before that's over.
I don't really have like anything. I'm mostly like vocal about everything, but a lot of people don't know that I have a YouTube channel with over like 100 subs on it. That I just upload like random videos on it.
Nice. Okay. Well, here's what we got to do. You got to get that info to me. We're gonna put it out, and we need your subscribers to follow Natural Sponge and help our subscribers. We'll help each other.
Oh yeah,
that's what we do. Natural Sponge and friends, guys. Make sure you guys keep listening. We appreciate everybody out there. And as you heard tonight, whether it's on a podcast or whether it's talking to your significant other, talking to your boy or your best friend if you're a girl or whatever it may be, make sure you guys get everything off your chest. And one of the best things I've heard in a long time is that the suicide hotline is now going to a 3-digit number, just like 911. I don't know what the number will be yet. So make sure you guys take care of yourself. Make sure you guys take care of your friends and your family and your neighbors, because you never know what somebody's going through, because everybody is always going through something. Everybody's got their fight. Yeah.